Cops is still on location with with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but that was 30 years ago when we still had law. Now you're just guilty or innocent, depending on which side of the spectrum you fall on. I'm not sure if the live notification is going to go out. Hi, Carol. I didn't tell anybody I was going live. It's just one of those things where you decide at the last second that I'm going to come out and enlighten everybody's lives. So I don't know if, like I said, if the notification's going to go out. It has been a crazy week, y'all. Holy fuck. My brain is still trying to process everything that's gone on. It's absolute fucking insanity. Welcome to the clown show. Do, 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 do. Oh my god. So 1 second, I'm just gonna I should have sent it out before I started. I was trying to download a song, but sometimes my programs decide they want to work with me and other times they don't. And it's usually when I'm waiting to go live that they decide they don't want to work. So 1 second. So I'm just gonna fill everybody in on my week. Never ends, never a dull moment. 1 second, you guys. So yeah, last time I was out here, I was bitching about my psychotic neighbor, and there's been quite a few developments since then. I don't even remember the last time I went live. It was like not even a week ago. And what I've been through is an absolute freaking nightmare. And I don't know. Hopefully, there's an end in sight. Never know. So yeah, I don't really know where I left off with everything. The last I remember telling everybody is that, the threats were escalating, his behavior was escalating, it was getting insane. And, I'm so glad that my landlords had more pity on the psycho that walks around freely to terrorize innocent people. I'm so glad they felt more sorry for him because he had nowhere to go. And don't worry about the innocent people that are the people in his wake of destruction. um, so I wish I watched my last live to figure out where I left off. His threats kept escalating. The police have been here more times than I can even count. It took like 2 weeks to finally get him charged with uttering death threats and mischief. To only have them take him away and fingerprint him and charge him. And he was literally back here within 20 minutes. 20 minutes on the same day. My head's done in from trying to figure out the madness of the laws and how they determine, who's a criminal. And there's so many things I find offensive about this whole thing. Like, I'm not a cop caller. This is the first time I've really ever had to deal with him on an issue like this. And the only reason why I took it to this level was because he kept threatening my life. And like, we live in the same house, right? So there was no way that I could avoid it. And because nobody was doing anything and everybody was just standing by and watching it happen, I felt like the only thing that I could do was document it in case something does happen. Then maybe then there will be justice. But don't hold your fucking breath on that one. So yeah, he was arrested 2 nights ago, I believe. No, what's today? I don't even know. It's all been one long big day because I don't sleep anymore because my nerves are so shot. Hey Mandy, I seen your comment the other day. Thank you so much for that. Like your kind words. I wish I could have reached out and hugged you because like It was very thoughtful, and I appreciated it. Because I feel like I'm all alone in this, and it's actually been a nightmare. And he was charged. He was brought back home within 20 minutes. The same day that he was charged and brought back home, he was drilled. I woke up. Finally, I slept a little bit because I thought, okay, maybe I'm starting to be heard now. And I woke up at 4 a.m. to him drilling outside my window. I don't know what he was doing, but the cops were here at 4:30, and then later on that afternoon, things continued to escalate, and he threatened to stab me. And he's like, "Well, what's the big deal? I'm only going to get another court case." And you know what? He's absolutely right. Nothing is going to happen to him, and that is all that's going to happen is another court case. So don't find yourself in this situation because nobody cares. Nobody's ever cared. And unless it's them in the situation, the ones who are in fear, the ones who are looking over their shoulder, who are constantly on edge, who are constantly on guard, ready to ragdoll a bitch, nobody cares. And it's very unfortunate. And the lack of resources or fucks that people give in terms of cops or these organizations that are supposed to help people in situations like this, nobody cares. And I can't stress that enough, that really nobody cares. Like, you go and you tell them your story and they actually get irritated with you. And it's humiliating. I see why women don't ask for help in situations like these. Um it's humiliating, it's embarrassing, even though you've done nothing wrong, and it's just a psychotic person who happens to choose you as their bullseye for whatever reason. Nobody knows. And then you end up, the person that it's happening to, end up blaming yourself for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you just somehow turn it around and make it your fault. And it's the biggest mind fuck I've ever seen. And I feel really bad for women in this situation because there is no help. And I went into the police station the other day, and there was a woman behind me, and I went in and I just said, you know what, like, this whole thing is bullshit. I've come to you guys for help. You put me in more danger, and like, I can't even get help from this agency that's supposed to help women in my situation because the cop didn't refer me. Like, talk about not wanting to do their jobs. And you know what? I see more kindness from strangers. The woman who was behind me came up to me and she's like, I know I don't know you, but I've been in your situation and I just wanted to be able to give you a hug. So there I am in the fucking police station, following my eyes out, blaming myself because I'm a bullseye for a fucking target of a psycho and a woman who has been in my situation. And you know what she told me? That she's had to move 9 times, 9 times because nobody will help her. Just the things that people take for granted, safety, security, having a roof over your head where you're not being threatened by a fucking psycho and a menace to society. And somehow he's allowed to walk free. And he was charged with mischief. The same thing that all of our guys that have been fighting for freedom and screaming from the rooftops have been charged with. And why is it that he was out within 20 minutes and this guy's got a fucking criminal history longer than my arm? He's managed to destroy my life in a short time, and I thought it was already destroyed when I walked through these doors, and I thought this was a new beginning for me. And in that time, I've lost money financially because work has made me take a leave of absence that's unpaid for. So now I'm getting behind, starting to get behind financially, because like, my PTSD's been triggered. You can't function when you're in a state of heightened, um I don't know how, fight or flight, and you're expected to function like a normal person, and you can't because you're shaking inside. You know what it's like when you're cold and your body shakes on the outside? That's kind of like what happens on the inside when you're in fight or flight mode and you feel threatened, and not just feel threatened, you are physically threatened. It's not just made up in your fucking mind. It's not just a reaction to traumatic events. It's because of the situations that are going on around you by psychopaths that are allowed to walk free. And you're shaking on the inside and you just cannot find your footing. And so now I'm expected to go down another dark hole. And there's only times there's only so many times a person can do this, and this is the last time for me because this isn't life, you guys. Like, you're not supposed to just live in survival mode. You're not supposed to just exist on this shitty fucking planet. You're supposed to be able to live. You're supposed to be able to enjoy life. You are supposed to be able to have a good time and laugh and be yourself and enjoy your friends and your family and find some sort of enjoyment out of this bullshit. You're not supposed to just to be here to pay bills and fucking die. They don't care. I've made videos. My last video, remember, I put on my community tab that they were here within 20 minutes. And that's what this is going to become. They're going to become my new target. They're going to become my new. I'm going to be their fucking advertising for the Brantford Police Department on how much of an epic failure. How many times can a person fuck up? How many times can people fuck up on the same job? And you know what? They come here. I called them for help, and they come here and tell me their problems. Well, we've known him for 20 years. Oh, I've gone toe to toe with him. Oh, he's got mental problems and he's a drug addict. Well, you know what? I really don't give a fuck. Put your bleeding heart away because I really don't care. I hope he fucking goes under a bridge, and I hope he buys the wrong junk one night and it fucking ends his life. Because why am I supposed to suffer at the hands of a fucking psycho, and nobody gives a shit? And like, I have the urge to run away, but there's nowhere to run to. There's nowhere to go. Like, my town ain't that big, man. Huh. We're gonna run into each other, you know. And the same day that he was let out within 20 minutes and was told to keep the peace, he had the cops here twice within 12 hours after that. So is that keeping the peace? Okay. I'm allowed to do anything I want. I'm allowed to go in there with a fucking live camera, and I told them that's the next thing I'm going to do. And if they want to see what a worst enemy becomes, those auditors that audit the police department, I could be their fucking worst nightmare, and I could show you all kinds of things that would make your jaw drop. I'm just one of many. I'm just a number. Like I've been saying all along, I'm just a fucking number on this planet, and not a very good one. I'm not a high priority, you know. I'm so beyond stressed, and to be honest, I'm kind of just done with it all. Like it's taken everything I have, all my energy, everything. Like it's all gone. There's nothing. It's a fucking nightmare, and I feel sorry for women that stay in positions like this because you're too afraid to speak up or too afraid to say anything or think there's no help. But I'm going to tell you the truth. There is no help unless you have family and friends that'll support you, but a lot of times they won't because they don't want to get involved in situations like this. Somehow it ends up being the person that the target is. It ends up being their fault somehow. Well, you must have done something. I didn't know this guy from fucking Adam when I walked through these doors, and I still don't. I've learned more about him through the police and through my experiences with him than I knew about him to begin with. And as far as I'm concerned, we just roll out the red carpet for these guys, and they get all the rights, and everything matters more about them. And because he's on like some sort of government assistance, like a disability or something, he's got people in here simping for him, and he gets more rights than I do. And I had to live like a hostage. I had to call 911 because the landlord, we have a mutual washroom, and he kept punching my door in the middle of the night, scaring the shit out of me. Like the house is dead silent. You could hear a fucking pin drop. And all of a sudden, like just out of nowhere, he'd come and like punch my door and start screaming. So as a precaution, the landlord put on like this heavy duty fucking industrial lock. I don't know how he did it, but he had that door off the hinges within less than 30 seconds. By the time I texted the landlord to say, get your ass here now, the door was already off and he was inside the washroom. So yeah, it's a mental disability because he's a fucking mental patient. And the cops, like, they're trying to entrap me. Like, oh, what do we do with these people? Do you really want me to answer that? I don't think you really want me to fucking answer that. But how about this answer? How about this is the closest answer I can give you without fucking saying something that's going to incriminate me? How about you take all these fucking psychopaths and sociopaths from every class, every fucking corner of society, and you put them all together on an island and let them handle themselves? because normal people should not be exposed to this bullshit, and more so, should not have their rights taken at the hands of a fucking lunatic. And I even told the cops the same thing I told you guys. He is a future school shooter waiting to happen, and they don't care. Well, we have to wait till it happens. Oh, really? Would you be saying that if it was your kid in that school? Hiding under a desk, mommy, daddy, save me? Yeah, I don't think you would. So go fuck yourself. So, now I'm not in a good place, and he's living the dream, and he's probably got, a place to stay, and it's a fucking nightmare. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to go from here, man. Like, um, I don't care what they do. I hope he does kill himself. Is that bad to say? Because I'm usually not like that. I'm usually like, oh, don't say that. But you know what? My pity train has left the building. There is no pity for him. I have none. I hope he goes and plays in traffic. There's a fucking train station a couple blocks away. I hope he goes and starts checking those boxcars to make sure they're all hooked up properly. And oh, wouldn't you know what? Too bad he got run over. Oh, so sad. Who would miss him? And what's a psych hold gonna do? That what are they gonna hold him for 72 hours at most? He needs more than 72 hours worth of help. Okay, you don't just get this fucked up overnight. Huh. And it doesn't help the drugs he's on. At first, I thought it was like fentanyl, but now I think it's crystal meth because he just gets these bouts of like anger and energy and explosive, like just raw, and it comes out of nowhere. And the weird thing about it is like he does it in the middle of the night. So here was his routine, right? Is he was quiet all fucking day, quiet as a church mouse. And then he goes out when it gets dark and he breaks all of his crimes so he gets enough money to get whatever drugs he's on. Then he comes home, he snorts them in the washroom. I can hear him doing them in the washroom. And then within 5-10 minutes, the behavior starts. And it goes on all fucking night until he wears himself out. So he's gone right now. He was removed from the building. But it's just a matter of time before he comes back. And I know that, and I feel like a sitting duck here waiting for it to happen, and I'm not just gonna let it happen, you know. But it's unfortunate, you know. And what's gonna happen, like I mean, so you call them for help and they're like, well, it's your word against his. Okay, well let's look at that. He's a criminal with a fucking arm's length history of bullshit, and I have no criminal record. And why in the fuck would I call you useless fucking losers, the cops, for help to make a story up about somebody? I got better things to do with my time. So that when I called 911, the cops told me to lock myself in my bedroom. Do you know that I was locked in my room for fucking 10 hours like a hostage while this lunatic runs free to terrorize people? How is that fucking fair? How is that justice? Do tell. I'll fucking wait. Because maybe I'm missing the point. I don't know, man. I don't know what the answers are, and the ones I come up with are not fucking good. And I don't even want to say them out loud, but read between the fucking lines. There's a few options, and none of them are good. Gotta watch what you say, though, because we gotta protect these fuckers' rights, all the lunatics of the world. He needs a fucking roll of duct tape around his fucking big trap. He needs a fucking white jacket. Permanently. He needs shackles. Give him 3 hots and a cot and put him in there for life. You'll be doing the fucking world a favor. But you know what? There's no room in the jails. They're overcrowded. Oh no, so sad. We let all of our violent criminals run free. He was removed. What's today? I don't even know what today is because it seems like one big long day when you don't sleep. Yesterday he was removed. He was supposed to be out by midnight, but when I called the cops to tell him that he threatened to stab me, and that it's no big deal, it's just another court case. And the sad part is about that is he's right. Um, they made him leave then and there. So is he gone forever? No. So now his conditions are, and they were the day that he got arrested and was home within 20 minutes, was to keep the peace. He's not allowed to be within, I think it's like 150 feet of me or the house or any place I work, go to school, or attend, or I'm known to attend. And he broke that within the first hour. And he broke the peace. He had the cops here twice within 12 hours. So it's fucking retarded, man, and things need to change. And none of these losers who wear suits and ties are smart enough to figure it out. Maybe because they're so lucky they've never been in a situation like this, you know. There's a lot of people who are lucky. I had no idea how bad the system was because I've never had to use it before. Thank God. But now that I have and I realize how broken it is and how little people even help, and then they just give you this number and then they give you another number, and the next thing you know, you have 3 pages of numbers and you're sitting there scratching your head because it's like, okay, well, I've just spent a day on the phone and I've got no fucking answers and nobody can keep me safe. So what do you do? Where do you go from here? Do tell, because I'm all ears. Because right now I got no solutions. The only place I can think of is to hell, and I already live there. So I don't know. It's officially Sunday. Okay, well, happy freaking Sunday, yeah. It's a long weekend here in Canada. Queen Victoria Day. The old bitch. Yeah, I'm saucy today, boys. But a person can only take so much, and I'm so far beyond that limit. I don't even see that limit anymore. I don't even see the line. I don't even see the start line anymore. It's like not even a dot that I can see. And that's how far past it I am. Um, but who cares? I'm just saying this for other women. I wish I had the answers. I wish I knew how to help you. Um, Probably knowing our laws today and their soft approach on crime and the release of violent criminals. You know what's funny is they want to take away the guns from the law-abiding citizens, but if you're like a gangbanger and you go and shoot up a neighborhood, you can get bail before it's somebody else who's charged with mischief or something so fucking minor. It's unbelievable. And I'm not kidding when I tell you they let them out. You know what their excuse is because we have no space in the jails for these people. Well, how about all those government buildings that sit empty with the useless fucking fat that we've got all through our government, and all of those buildings sit empty? How about you either make those jails or like insane asylums for these fucking losers so the rest of us don't have to tolerate this shit? Because my life's been destroyed. I'm losing financially. I'm in a bad fucking state because I'm in that fight or flight mode. Nobody cares. Nobody pays for that. You know who pays for that? I pay for that. I'm sick of paying for other people's shit. I don't know any gangbangers. And I'm sure the guy's made enough enemies that anyone would turn on him gladly. Probably fucking $5 in a smoke. Probably just a smoke at this point. Probably a fucking, 40 of Old English and a fucking res smoke. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, talk about salty. Yeah, welcome to my life. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't even know why I came out here. I just thought I'd come out and say hi to everybody. But it's kind of, I want to joke about it and laugh about it because I think it's pretty sad. But the truth is, I think it's more sad than funny because I'm the one in the situation. I'm the one who's feeling threatened. I'm the one who is trapped, like literally held hostage in this shithole. Like, I mean, it's about the size of a jail cell if I'm looking around. Maybe a little bit bigger. The only difference is I get to have my dog here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I do not know what to say. I don't know anybody that has really been in this situation. Well, actually, I do, but you know the difference between me and them is that they stay in those situations. Um, well, they charged him with uttering death threats and mischief, but he was back at the house within 20 minutes. So that shows you right there. It took them 11 hours to respond to death threats, and there was more than one occasion that it took them. I was locked in my room 10 hours waiting for the cops to come. Don't worry about it. Don't worry that you feel held hostage while the lunatic runs free. Like, what kind of system is this? Like, it's beyond a joke. It's not even a joke. A joke is funny. This is not funny. This is a fucking nightmare. And the only people that would understand are women who have ever been in this situation. And the thing is I'm not a fucking victim. I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to stay in a situation for the sake of convenience. I'm not going to stay somewhere where I know my days are numbered. Like, what kind of life is that? Do you have any idea the toll that it takes on your body, the stress that it puts you under to live in that type of environment? It's it's horrible. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, man. And the people that the I don't even want to call him a man because I don't think he's a man. I think he's a fucking goof punk ass bitch cunt. I hope that when he goes to jail, I hope that he ends up being somebody's bitch. And that will be karma. Because what else can you believe in this life except karma? And hope that eventually it comes back around. Because God knows he's ripped off so many people in this town. It's just a matter of time before they catch up with him. And I hope they do. So, but everything needs a complete overhaul. And then, you call the cops and they come here and tell me their problems with him. Oh, well, I fought him. Oh, well, I've known him for 20 years. Oh, well, he just talks shit. Don't listen to him. Oh, really? Thanks. That makes the person feel better that's going through it. And it's easy for you to say with all your fucking protective weapons. No, I don't. I don't have a gun. They're taking away our firearms here. Why would a government want to take away the citizens' firearms? Do you think it's maybe because they're about to do something that's going to make people want to use those against them? Is that the reasoning behind it? Because there's got to be some sort of method to their madness. Why would they want to take people's legal firearms? There's no viable excuse or answer in my mind. They get bounced in jail. I don't know what that means. Bounce, like let out, do you mean? Is that what you mean? I don't know what that means. I've never been to jail, so I don't know the lingo. There's a few things I know, like don't drop the soap. Watch for those locks in a sock. That's about all I know. And that's only if you believe, like, Prison Break or Orange is the New Black. Oh my god. Like it's I swear I've taken like 20 years off my life in the last month and a half. Like, oh my god. And who's gonna pay for that? His disability because he's a useless fuck can't hold a job. They won't put up with him, then that's where he needs to go. And why did they keep letting him out? And how was somebody arrested for mischief of all people, or sorry, of all things, and uttering death threats? And how was he out within 20 minutes? Taken to the police station, fingerprinted, charged, and back home within 20 minutes. Explain that to me. Right back to the same situation where he was before, and then the cops are here within 12 hours, 2 times within 12 hours. So that's really keeping the peace. That's one of his conditions. And then when I called to say he was going to stab me and that all he's going to do is just have another court case, he's fucking right. And I said it to the cops. And I've got all of this shit recorded. And as soon as I can figure out a way to share all of those recordings, I'm going to do that. There's just some things that I need to edit out, like my name and or not my name, but my phone number and my address. Not that it matters, but, try and, I mean, might as well put a blinking neon sign on my car. Fuck. I don't know. I don't get it. It's insanity. And, we've been trying to say for so long here in Canada that the trajectory that they're taking us down is such a slippery slope because when you try and do things the right way, the legal way, you get no results. And it's only a matter of time before people start taking things into their own hands. And like I even told my MP that, and he's mentioned it in the House of Commons, and they know that. And I think that's what they're banking on, and I think that's why they don't get involved, is because they look at us as the undesirables, and natural selection. They'll just take each other out, right? Is that their thought process? Because I would really love to know what it is, because I just at this point, from a logical standpoint, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, Orange is the New Black, pretty crazy. Yeah. The three S's. What's that, Chris? I don't know what the three S's are. All I know is I've had enough. Like I've had more than enough. Like I'm done. I got nothing left. No fucking energy. No fucks left to give. I'm over it all. I hope he does come back. I hope he does do what he says he's gonna do. Please, Kelgon, take me away. I like the three S's. You know, and that's what's funny. My landlord kept saying that to me as a joke, and it's like, dude, you're a fucking dude. Why don't you handle it like a man? Like, but I don't see you getting involved. I see you allowing him more time to stay so he can terrorize me even more. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're equally as culpable, and they should be, reimbursing me all the wages that I've lost in the last few weeks. So somebody's gonna pay for it, and it's not gonna be me. Yep, can't get help even in a situation like this. And believe me, I'm not the kind to ask for help at all. Trust me on that one. I'd rather fucking suffer in silence, and I have for a long time. But when it's my life is threatened, now all bets are off. I'm telling the truth because hey, what do I got to lose? If I end up dead tomorrow, then now you know why. It's not like I just vanished. Didn't tell people. Didn't try and warn people. Didn't try and do the right thing. So I don't know. I just thought I'd come out here and shoot the shit for a minute, but I don't like coming out here bitching, and that's all this is. So I'm gonna end this now. Sorry, I'm not in a better place. Maybe one day soon I will be. I heard Hell's taking reservations. I'm number one in line for that place, so maybe I'll see you guys all there. See you later.